guys hear us without the microphone, or
So yeah, we're live, but does everyone see that up there?
Yeah, I can hear everyone.
Do you see the live button up there?
I do.
Yeah, we're good. All right, ladies and gents, welcome all to the first ever Bet Champ After Hours edition. We got the fellas in here. Everyone's rocking and rolling. We'll just do a quick roll call, starting with the man himself, Sach.
Oh, none. Just ready to chop it up with the boys and get into some NFL wildcard games.
Absolutely. What you got down there, Whit?
what's going on, man? So excited to be here. Finally reconnect with you, E. Meet Sach. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna get going, and then we got Big E himself.
Yes, sir. Whit, you definitely look excited. So very excited. And Jones, thanks for the roll call. I didn't know we had the names underneath us, but thanks for the roll call. Let's go. Let's get into it, buddy.
Get into it. Absolutely.
Good to see you guys.
Unfiltered, baby. Do whatever you got to do. We're talking sports, talking games, talking lines, just action all day long. But, talking controversy with sports, everything like that. Get it in. But, we're heading into the playoffs right now with the NFL. So some big time stuff. And we'll just hop into it. We got our first wild card game, which we got them Cleveland Browns with the Houston Texans.
Sorry, I'm posting that we're live on the thing right now.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, we're good. We'll get a system going. Everything. We're doing fine.
Some lines.
Oh yeah.
So what's the show on DraftKings is Cleveland -3.
Right now it is.
I got 2.5 FanDuel.
Yeah, on DraftKings. So it depends on what side you're on.
Well, shoot. I mean, I gotta go with. I'm gonna probably go with Joe Flacco. Probably not too much, but just because he is. I don't know when's the last time he's made the playoffs, but I mean, I'll probably lean for the Browns. I'll probably look into Njoku props, honestly, the way he's been going berserk. So I'll probably lean the Browns on this one, though.
Yeah.
No, I'm feeling the Browns too right now and everything.
What's your thoughts, though? CJ's at home, first rookie start in the playoffs. D'Amico Ryan's a defensive coach. I mean, I know the Browns can run the ball, but Flacco, the wheels got to fall off at some point, man. You know what I mean?
That is true.
No, it's great.
I think
right now you got a first-time head coach, first-time rookie quarterback going into it. But right now, I don't know. There's something going on with Flacco magic and everything. His last 5 games, I mean, he's averaging around 323 yards passing and everything. So he's slinging the rock. And the Texans secondary right now is pretty poor. I think they have a really good set offense with Devin Singletary and the Texans. And then Nico Collins is an insane wide receiver right now. But that backfield for the defense, I don't know if they're going to hold up with – you got Njoku over there, Amari Cooper, and then Flacco magic, baby, just throwing that rock.
Got Elijah Moore, too. He's good to go, right?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Looks like he's good to go.
Hey, but
I'm loving
I know these guys are really young. It is the Browns. It is the Browns.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
It is, but I'm
Browns is the Browns.
leaning on the Browns as well.
Yeah.
You look, I love the CJ Stroud story. I love the whole Houston story. But this is the playoffs. I mean, look, Flacco, I don't know what he's on. They haven't tested him yet. He was a Statue of Liberty with the Jets, and now he's back to slinging it. He has won a Super Bowl. It's the number 1 defense against a rookie quarterback, the speed of the game. Man, it's hard not to look at Cleveland. Amari Cooper, you can almost match positions up, and then that experience has to come in, right? Eventually. Stroud's been amazing. It seems like he's cool as ice. He doesn't crack, but yeah, man, what a story if they win. That I mean, you went from I don't know where they were projected
3-12 last year. I think they were like 3-12 last year.
Yeah, to making it. So, but I do like Cleveland in this one. Again, you're going to see a theme, at least with my early picks, is going to be experience. It just means something,
Yeah, quarterback play is huge, at least in the playoffs for sure. More importantly in the regular season, but even like when I've been watching CJ Stroud, that Texans offense gets in like these quarter-long slumps, and they just can't get out of it. Like, I feel like, I mean, he does have that like the gunslinger mentality. They can make big plays, but I mean, even after that first big play that they had against the Colts, they were kind of stagnant for a little bit.
Slowed down. Yeah.
That's the thing that I'm really going to look forward to is like, how is he going to make plays like when they're down a couple 3 and outs or something like that?
If CJ
See,
doesn't
when the
make
props
two,
were out,
three
like
plays in the game.
Njoku over, I'm probably definitely going to take a Flacco interception. It just comes with his 400 yards, right?
Yeah.
But for me, if I was making the play, it would definitely be Cleveland.
100%. I'm with you, man. Right now on FanDuel, you can get it at -2.5 for the spread. I love
Ooh,
that.
that's perfect.
I love that for Cleveland. Love that. I think people think Joe Flacco's like underrated right now, but a lot of people don't know he's got a freaking deep ball. So kind of what E was saying too, like he's due for an interception for sure, but I mean he will sling the rock down the field all game and get people uncomfortable.
Yes.
Crazy to see, but we'll head over now. We got the next game on Saturday, the later game. We got the Miami Dolphins at the Kansas City Chiefs.
You said
I mean,
it's
I don't really
Saturday?
know how you.
Saturday. That's the later game. 2 games on Saturday.
I mean, it's all pretty much going to come back if Jalen Waddle and Raheem Mostert, are they going to be a good go? I haven't really heard too much, but I mean, if it's only Tyreek out there, I don't really trust the Dolphins to, do what they're normally doing. But even if they do have Jalen Waddle and Raheem Mostert, I would still maybe lean for the Chiefs. But I mean, who is he going to throw to? Just Travis Kelce the whole time? I mean, he ain't throwing a Valdez Scantling. Even ZJ got banged by Valdez Scantling like 2 times.
Is Rice out there, right? Though I mean, Rice.
Yeah, Rashee
Rice.
But I don't know. That's a tough place, man. Arrowhead, Southeast team coming to Arrowhead in January. I know the Dolphins.
They got the
have
boy
that
from
speed.
New Jersey. They got the kid from New Jersey, Pacheco. I mean, he's still balling. Pacheco's balling.
It's hard.
And here's the thing.
hard.
I just looked it up for Saturday. The high in Kansas City is 17 degrees.
Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't say if there's going to be snow or not. That's the high. We're a few days out still, but 17 degrees. You look at the Miami offense and really look at it as like a Maserati, right? Man, if you're in South Beach, you're cruising that thing. It's rolling, it's great, but you get up in this weather.
That puppy ain't 4-wheel drive.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think stuff starts breaking, and it's still Andy Reid, it's still Patrick Mahomes, but they haven't been. You let Buffalo come in your house last night and beat you.
And Tua driving Maserati, he might only be able to turn left. Just like
let's be honest. If either of these teams were women, you wouldn't date them. They're consistently inconsistent. You wouldn't have them in your life. You can't trust them.
There it is. There's the
and now they're meeting. You know what I mean? And you got to pick one because it's your only two options. But I wouldn't date either one of these teams. I wouldn't take them to prom. I wouldn't take them to a wedding. I wouldn't introduce their mom. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Mahomes is the best player on the field is going to touch the ball the most. Tyreek's going to touch it, but Mahomes is going to have it in his hand every time. I think the experience there. I think at home it's going to be rocking. I think the Dolphins and them all whites.
Arrowhead is going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be cold, and I think there's a great storyline with Tyreek and Pat. But I think in the end, I think Andy Reid and everything else. I think this is the Dolphins' catapult year. You know what I mean? But they got to take their lumps, and I'd go with the Chiefs.
Seems like at the beginning of the season, the Dolphins were just off and rolling. And then you watch these last 2 games. They had the Ravens, and then the last night's game against the Bills. It seems like Tua's just running everywhere in shambles. He doesn't know who to go to, especially with guys out, and he's just got Tariq. He just looks nervous, though. He looks so nervous. He's throwing picks, not knowing what he's doing. The offense looks in shambles, and their defense is so banged up right now. It's just hard to say. I don't like either of these teams either, but it's just you're in Arrowhead right now with Patrick Mahomes. That's scary.
You look at last night. You're at home. Josh Allen turned the ball over 3 times.
3 times.
They just couldn't. Yeah, they just couldn't get anything going, and that's in. I don't know what it was down there, 60 degrees, whatever. You're going up to 17 for a high. Stings a little bit to get hit. We'll see, but I think too much. Again, I'll go with the Chiefs and their experience.
I think too much is being asked to Tua, and it's creating those mistakes. It's just he can play above the system, but right now he's asked to do too much. I watched that game last night, and deeply concerning with Josh Allen. I know his playoff history, but last night that was a game they could have taken. They scored 14. The Bills do in the fourth quarter. That's unacceptable. And so for that, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes, you leave 17 seconds on the clock and the ball in his hands, and he's going to put you in position to win.
100%. 100%. I'm with you. I'm with the Chiefs on this one too. You guys liking the spreads though? It's -3.5 for the Chiefs right now on FanDuel. That's dangerous right now.
Yeah,
I'd buy it down. I'd buy it down to 2.5, but that's me if I was going to bet that game.
By that point.
Yeah.
That hook will get you.
Or you can do both games as a teaser.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get back to.
We'll roll over. What
Hey,
you
guys.
got, E?
Oh, you're good. Go to next. I'm just bringing up the
Oh, yeah.
lines. I'm on the phone there. Yeah.
We'll roll over to the Sunday games now. This one's kind of interesting in itself, and we'll see how it plays off. But we got the Pittsburgh Steelers in Buffalo versus the Bills. The Bills are laying -10 right now on FanDuel for the spread.
That's way too many points.
That's
for
way too much. Yeah,
Josh Allen and the
What's it
Bills.
sitting at?
it's Bills right now are -10 for the spread, going up against Mike Tomlin's Steelers.
Yeah, I don't like that number at all. I'm not. As
That's
playoffs, I'm not
big
betting over
number.
6.5.
Are the Steelers rolling with Rudolph again?
I
think
believe so. I believe so.
He's 3-0, right? I mean, what do you do?
Yeah.
10 points. That's a lot.
10
You know,
points
the
is
one
a
thing-
lot.
I like the +10 there for the Steelers as well. Their defense has been playing crazy. Mike Tomlin just knows what he's just got so much experience. Especially they win ugly games, but he knows exactly how to win the game at the end. It's crazy.
man,
That's going to be another lock-in. Josh Allen over 0.5 interception. That's the only thing we know so far. It's going to be right. Stephen A. Smith always talks about the Cowboys. The Bills, he will always let you down, and he throws these interceptions that just kill the team.
Yeah,
He did it again last night,
He had
throwing
a
across
playoff
the
run
field.
2 years ago. He had a playoff run 2 years ago. No
Yeah.
interceptions, 14 touchdowns, whatever it was, some wild number. But I don't know, man. Mike Tomlin. I tell you what, the Bills don't win this game, and they're in a complete retool. Like the coach is gone. I don't know what you do. Your defensive line is aging. Like it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that team. They don't win this game.
And Diggs will
And then
probably be
what was
frustrated.
Diggs is going to have a meltdown. You're right. Yes, Sots. It's going to be an emotional time for Diggs.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Diggs is going to
What'd
be
you hear
going
on
nuts.
Watts?
Gabe
Is he
Davis,
playing?
I don't even know what the hell Gabe Davis is doing half the time. He went
what's
like
going on
4
with
games
T-
stretch
Jay-
with like
what's
one
wrong with TJ?
catch.
What's up with TJ? MCL?
Yeah, you know if
sprain?
Watt is
I haven't
playing?
seen the latest on that.
Yeah. Yeah, they say last night they were saying it was an MCL sprain, but I don't know what came out of it today.
So
But,
if it's
TJ
that, he'll probably
could
grab
be
and
out.
try to go. But
Yeah,
where's he going to be?
Yeah.
I
Man,
don't know.
right,
I don't like
that's
the
one of
10
these
points.
games. Man, I don't even know how the Steelers are there. I can't tell you. Wish I
No,
could.
it's great.
I don't know.
Mike
how.
Tomlin. It's Mike
No,
Tomlin.
they-
He-
Trevor
10
Lawrence got him
games.
there. Trevor Lawrence got him there. That's who got him there.
You know, but it's interesting to
ask
see
Trevor Lawrence.
since the Pickens incident. It's interesting to see kind of where they've gone, right? Because that was if you look back to when it started, it was like the Pickens. I don't want to block because I don't want to get hurt. And now here they are. They've kind of gone on a run, galvanized the team. I don't know, man. I like Tomlin. I wouldn't bet against Allen. I think, again, he's best player on the field. I think they're at home at Orchard Park. I think it's just going to be – I think that place
Bills
is going to be
Mafia.
rocking.
Bills
But
Mafia is
I
crazy.
do think they have so much pressure. The Bills have so much pressure. They don't win this game. I wouldn't take this 10 points. I would have a hard time taking 7. I would be even more cautious at 6.5. It's a playoff game, man. 2 scores, that's kind of – to me, I wouldn't take that. I would probably move by that game, or I'd look at the over-under. I didn't see what that was latest.
And the Steelers, Najee Harris.
35.5. They
playing
got a
extremely
35
well.
right and a half for the over/under.
35.5?
35.5, really low.
I don't
You
mind
say
that.
so?
Spread and it's 35?
Yeah.
35.5.
That's what I mean. So,
What do they think they're going to score 10 points? 13 points?
They're thinking they're going to crush the Steelers.
they're probably
I don't
thinking a 21-14 game, but then that doesn't match the – I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I ain't messing with 10 points.
Yeah, no.
If I have to put in a top 3 picks for the week right now, the Steelers +10 right now is definitely in that category for me. I love that. Playoff game, taking it down. Mike Tomlin, defense running hot. I love it. Josh Allen's always due for one interception. He's due for one. That man is due for that man. He will sling it down the field, but he doesn't even know who he's throwing to.
But Jones.
If I had to on this one, this is my Jameis Winston take a knee game. I'll just sit it out and watch it.
Yeah, Jones.
Jameis.
Jones lives life.
Jones he's running the ball.
Yeah,
I love this.
It's like the Broncos lock.
Yeah,
The Broncos.
Yeah, you can't.
Homer.
God bless them. God bless them. But they.
What do you have to say about that one, Ian?
What's the line on that, Jones?
Here's
Plus,
the
it's got to be plus money. It's got to be plus money.
Yeah,
It's minus 110 right now.
I saw you throw my name in that text too, Eve. I'm not no homer. I tell the truth when it comes to my team.
No, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It was a guy who was wearing a bucket hat. And he was talking about the Cowboys. And he said, when we win the toss. I mean, it's past is back there, but that's what I was saying. It didn't have anything to do with you. There was some guy with he gave me your name. Jones gave me the name. Anyway, let's move on. Doesn't neither here nor there. That the Bronco game, what you saw was one team that I believe hates their coach, another team that loves their coach, wants to get them hired. It's the last game of the year. All the Broncos are trying to do not get hurt. That's all they wanted to do. Yeah. No way.
That's why I went with the Raiders. I was like, shoot, I'll take the Raiders on that one.
But we'll be like, money line Denver. I said, all right. Take a knee on that one. Jameis Winston. Take a knee.
All right, then. Well, now we'll roll over to we got the Green Bay Packers at Sach's Dallas Cowboys. Interesting one here.
Well, I mean, I've been scarred by the Packers in the playoffs since Aaron Rodgers did us dirty like 2 times, the Dez catch. And then last time we played them in Dallas, Aaron Rodgers threw a freaking 40-yard bomb with tippy toes in, and Mason Crosby kicked the field goal. But I was telling ZJ last night, 7.5 is too much the way the Packers have been playing last week or two. I mean, the Cowboys defense can't stop the run, and they got A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones back there, and they got Jordan Love protecting the ball pretty decent. I think it's going to be a field goal type game just because it is the playoffs. Cowboys typically do not do good at home in the playoffs. So I'm staying away. I would probably lean Packers, though, just the plus 7.5, even with Cowboys are at 14, going into the fourth and cheap touchdown. So I think 7.5 is too much.
Yeah. That's a dicey one. I like
a scary game. I'm telling you, it's a scary game. Ugh.
Yeah, I like Jordan Love. I like the way he's been playing. I think the 7.5 comes from, the points the Cowboys are able to put up and the lack of production from the Packers. But I don't know, man. I've been impressed with what Matt LaFleur's done.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. This is another one. The Cowboys lose this game. And, man, can you imagine the Cowboys and Bills both lose this weekend? What Mondays?
My God.
Cowboys
imagine what top ratings would look like?
Stephen A. Smith the first day would have a heyday the next day.
Cowboys lose the
so I'm gonna pull
is coming for Dak.
I'm gonna pull a ZJ. I'm gonna pull a Jones here, ZJ. And if this is my top, this one is in my top 3, but Aaron Rodgers ain't walking through that door. I'll take the Cowboys all day. Probably up to 8. I'll take the Cowboys at home all day. All day. All you're going to be hearing all day long on TV is, here we go. And just pop. Aaron Rodgers ain't walking through that door anymore. That's Jordan Love. This is his first playoff game. I think they're going to – I hate McCarthy. I think LaFleur's the better coach, but – man, the Cowboys got to get out the first. They got to get out the first round.
We got out the first round last year. We sent Tom Brady into retirement. Dak sent Brady into retirement.
Here goes
this year with this team, right?
I'm part of the team. I invested a lot of time and money into this team. So I
got a little line for you guys right now, though. So Cowboys total team points 29.5. That's been Sachman's banger. Minus 118, 29.5 total team points for the boys.
I think they're at home. They're going to open it up. They're going to do some stuff. If we could just keep McCarthy from hurting the team. When we're on the one, let's just run it. We don't need any play fakes, doing all the goofy shit, and you guys will hopefully be there. What I was saying, we're getting out of one now. This year alone for the Cowboys, it's got to be San Fran or bust, right? The goal, if San Fran makes it to that championship game, you got to that's got to be the goal. You can't go out first round to Jordan Love's first playoff. Like,
I don't know, man. That Packers defense, they got 9 first-rounders on the defense. Like, at some point, it's starting to pan out. Jair, I'm telling you right now, Jair is going to have a pick. He's going to pick.
Oh, yeah. You know who he's guarding too?
CeeDee Lamb is going to torch
Yeah,
Jair.
CeeDee Lamb.
He's going to put him in a
Listen,
box.
yes, and he's going to take his interview.
this is my
serious.
Ric Flair golden pick of the week. Signed up. Go with
Yeah.
the Cowboys. I understand someone who's lived the history as a fan, so it's hard. But I don't know. They, like I said, I could be Jones in it with that last one, like he did. But I do like the Cowboys this week. They got
Okay, good. When he's on the side, it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I like that.
I don't know.
Used the return, so it sounds like he's had conversations with
Take it
these
down.
guys. He knows where their head's at.
buy it down to
I'm in the
6.5.
locker room.
Buy it down to 6.5.
But the
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
what I was telling people with this game, sorry, ZJ,
No, go ahead.
McCarthy couldn't even win with Aaron Rodgers. That's the thing in the playoffs. He's had so much. He won the Super Bowl how long ago, and he didn't do anything with Aaron Rodgers the whole time.
Like,
Like,
man,
he couldn't do nothing with Rodgers. I mean, it's hard to say that he can do it with Dak
I
because
agree.
it's night and day quarterbacks. But,
Soch
I mean,
is
McCarthy
like
choked you with a lot. Huh?
Soch started out this conversation like he was ready to propose to this woman, and like after talking to us, now he's like, "But there's been a past," and
She
he's
has
like,
red
"What?"
flags.
Because the first part of the conversation, he had the ring. He was like, "Hey, what do you guys think? This is our time." And then we had some dialogue, and now he's reeling it back, and he's like, "But you know, her dad."
Well, because he
has-
knows the history. He remembers all the history.
He thought
the
there's
catch,
been some
non-catch.
proposing many times. but
I'm
there's been a
scarred.
couple
I'm
letdowns,
scarred from
you
the
know.
Packers, man. I'm telling you.
But
Oh,
Packers
man,
and
this is a
49ers, I
new
have
time.
nightmares.
I think the Cowboys have problems with physical teams. If the Packers get physical, I think they can remain in the game. I'm with E though. I would take the Cowboys in this. I don't know, the 29.5 points. That's a lot. I know they score 30 something a game. I don't know, man. I think that's difficult.
you're like up in the 40s at home, right?
Yeah, 42,
35, 40
41.
at home.
Yeah, but
They're-
it's the playoffs, man.
Cowboys
Playoffs.
It
averaging
is.
around.
and
it's
somewhere,
like-
somewhere that Jordan hasn't been before. You know,
yeah,
I know he's going to
Lot
have
of nerves
nerves.
there.
Everybody has
a lot of
that.
nerves there for the young guy, the young fella.
Yeah.
It pains me
Hey.
to say this, gents, but I'm with you guys all the way. I'm rolling with the Cowboys on this one. I don't know if I like 7.5 by them. I just think these playoff games are so tight. Coaching wise, this is going to be crazy. I don't know if I like the 29.5 too for the Cowboys, just because it's going to be a tight game. But I mean, to what E said, the Cowboys have to win this game. You have to beat a young quarterback here. If not, there's just so much talk within the media of what's going to go on if they were to lose this game. But I see them winning this.
So not much of a spoiler alert.
Yeah,
If they lose this game,
McCarthy's
Monday or Tuesday morning, Jim Harbaugh is getting introduced as the new coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
They might even
He
put
won't be going
Quinn at head coach. Who
out. You
knows?
think so? I don't
They'll
think
give-
so.
Oh, he's out of Michigan, right? He ain't coming back. Win, lose, he's not coming back.
No,
He's got more NCAA stuff. He's got 44 starting seniors. He's not trying to. Hey, he's got a good deal. I was thinking it's Chargers, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jones made his move. He's out there.
I think I think the Chargers, he can get the most control. And obviously the best weather. I'm out here in San Diego. It's gorgeous. I just want to let you know. A little frost in the window for the first time down here this morning, but
True,
I don't think if he goes to Dallas, it's a Jimmy Johnson situation, 3 and done, gets it done. They're going to be bumping heads. The dude, I love Harbaugh, but if he was our friend, we would be like, we can only be around this guy so long. He's an acquired taste and he's intense.
Yeah. Why is Witt trying to drop his weather in San Diego on this, guys? We had like blizzard conditions today out here.
I know.
Chargers haven't played in San Diego for a minute. There's no reason to drop a San Diego on us.
I'm just trying to keep hope alive, man. He's going to have a home here. He's going to go to LA for the season. Now, that was the dumbest move they made.
Yeah,
They're the
you're probably
Clippers,
right.
they're the Clippers of the NFL, but I would go to San Diego. Ownership's a mess. I think you can get the most control, and you can go and say, hey, I want complete, anonymity of all this stuff, The Raiders, though, man. The Raiders are interesting. I love Harbaugh with the Raiders, but, I think that firing of McCarthy happens rapidly. If I'm talking like
If they lose.
he comes to the presser and steps off, and he's like, "Come with me." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thing with Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones
Back it
gets
up.
attached to dudes that he
Yeah.
likes a lot. Garrison
he
got fired
does.
5 years before it even happened. So
They
I know
hung with
Jerry
Garrett.
Jones loves McCarthy, so I don't know.
All right.
Yeah. But
All
I
right,
think
fellas.
McCarthy's on thin ice.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Next up, this one. I think this is the game I'm most interested in this weekend. We got the LA Rams at the Detroit Lions. Stafford's coming back to Detroit. Dan Campbell's a little ticked off with everything. I don't know.
I think Dan Campbell's a little reckless sometimes.
Dan Campbell got
he might be
Sam
a little
Laporta
too
hurt.
excited for this game. I mean,
Dan-
experience again is just going to be what I'm going to lean to. Sean McVay, Super Bowl champ, Matt Stafford champ, Cooper Kupp champ. Goff in the playoffs, I mean, historically hasn't been too well, but I mean, he did make the Super Bowl, so you can't really knock it. But
Bro, I love the Rams here.
What's
What's
the
the
line,
line?
Jones?
Line right now, brought to you by FanDuel, of course. Is,
I know he's a
minus
DraftKings guy.
minus 3.5
Yeah.
right now is what the
I
Lions
like
are
the
landing.
hook with the Rams.
I love the Rams here. You got Puka Nacua, you got Karen Williams in the running back position, you got Cooper Kupp over on the other side for the wide receiver, and Matthew Stafford has looked like he has just not lost a step at all. I mean, he just knows what he's doing. That's that veteran. That's that vet. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Looking
What's
strong.
the
You guys stole my thunder. I was with the Rams. I think I'm right with you saying that was my pretzel rod knot of the night.
Not of the night.
I'm gonna tell you. Hey, I'm gonna
Trying to
take
get
a-
some sponsors.
I don't want to. I don't
Trying
want
to
to
get
leave.
some
I don't wanna
sponsors.
leave-
The pretzel
I don't
rod
leave
knot
it.
of the night. Yeah, I think it's
Well,
gonna. If everything's the same, player wise, talent wise, let's go to the coaches. And I just think
Yeah.
McVay's playing chess. He's gonna have something ready
Yeah.
for Campbell. Campbell's gonna bite you in the knee. He's gonna do this stuff, but like Sauce saying, very reckless.
If
I
anyone's
think this is
biting anybody,
McVay's time to shine.
McVay's
Yeah, I need to
biting
get a sip of
Campbell
that.
in me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna
Also
use my
Also
crown
known as the
catcher
Jalen
tonight.
Brunson assistant tonight.
Damn. Well, how many damn freaking signed pictures you got?
He's got memorabilia on deck.
He's worse
Yeah.
than me when I was 12 years old and had a bunch of posters around my room of like sports stars. He's
Yeah.
got them framed
That's
up,
true.
autographed. Man,
Fellas,
I'm gonna go with the crown catch of the night and make sure I catch you boys because I'm telling you right now, I
The
like
crown
Detroit
catcher.
straight up. I don't like to see you guys fall. I think the elder, I think he's leading you down a dark path. I know that Sach likes the dark, but I like the Lions in this. I think they're more physical. I think Dan Campbell has something to prove. I think that team's more collectively together. I don't know. I like the Lions in this, and a close one though. But I think they win by. I think they win by 3.
to bounce off of you where I can kind of go with you a little on that one, Whit, is the running backs over on the Lions side are insane. You got Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs over there. Those guys look like they can get shot out of a freaking cannon. And it isn't.
And
So
They're just
let me
K
ask-
Williams isn't suiting up.
Taylor
K
Williams
Williams
is
isn't
sick too,
suiting up.
but they got a two-headed horse over
Yeah,
there, which
He's
is just.
scrubbing. You're right.
But
But I just think when it comes down to
the
the
strength
X's
over there,
and
that's
O's,
the strength over there.
I like
When
McVay.
when it
as
comes
a-
down to
as a-
X's
as a
and O's,
No, I hear you.
Campbell,
I hear you.
he's
I'm with the Rams. I hear it.
report.
That's just the thing I would be worried about over on the Lions side.
There has to be
I love
one
it.
upset, right? No, not all the favorites are going to get through this week, and I think the Rams make the most sense. That's for me. I can see your point too, though, Whit, for sure. And I'm trying to
I like
lead these guys
McVay.
down
I
a
like
path.
McVay from a game plan standpoint. I just look at Stafford. What has Stafford done outside of came in the first year, won the Super Bowl, right? And McVay was a wizard. That team was loaded. When you look at that defensively, they were loaded. Cooper Kupp had a year. They barely got by Tampa in the NFC Championship game with in overtime. So you look at that. Stafford had some difficulties at Georgia, big games. He had difficulties, obviously, in Detroit. Everyone does. He's had difficulties with the Rams outside of that 1 year that kind of everything put together. It's the first year of his career. He's never been hurt. I think Jared Goff, when you look at him, look at the production he's had this year. He's been efficient. He's been good. The running game is going to support him in this. The running game travels.
Sure.
The running game travels in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's going to go on the road. It's going to work at home. I don't see the
They're in
Rams.
Detroit,
Yeah, but
I
I
still
don't
can't get past the coaches.
Yeah.
I see a
You don't like
caveman
that?
against.
I
against
think
the
Dan
man.
Campbell's going to
I
do
do
one
like. I
dumb
think it's
mistake, man.
motivational, but it's a caveman against a mathlete, and it's a spelling bee.
you're
it's
telling
not
me
his lane.
Stafford-
It's not where he needs to be.
You're telling me Stafford doesn't want to bust those guys right there at home.
But peep this. If you look
Homecoming.
if you look at E and you said, hey, just show a picture of E and then show Dan Campbell and McVay and say, which one of these guys does he identify with most? You're not picking Sean McVay. It's not. And now you're calling him a caveman? It's not happening, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's like your brother, your stepbrother. And you're like, nah, I'm going to go with this nerd, this wizard over here. Like,
Let me say this on Jones's point. I don't think Stafford. It was an amicable split. The Lions said, "Hey, go before you can retire and get a ring." It wasn't like I'm holding out. I want to get out of here. It was very similar to the Titans this year with Derrick Henry. Hey, he's just go get a ring, big fella, because we're not there.
Yeah.
I
hear you.
Yeah, he wants to stuff it to him, but it's not like when Brett Favre came back with Minnesota to play Green Bay. You know that was personal.
I'm not taking.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't take the Lions at -3.5, but I would take the straight out. I think the Lions win. I think the Lions win this game. If I was going to bet, I just bet straight line. I think the Lions are going to win this game.
Here's a little line. Here's a little action for you guys. Over and under right now is 51.5. I think that's a little high.
That's a little high.
I think that's a little high.
One of these games is going to be a blowout. You know, one of these games is going to be very anticlimactic. And I think it's going to be a game that we're probably not, not the Cowboys-Packers.
Might be that Buffalo game. Could be that Buffalo game at home, but
yeah. It could.
Yeah, true.
I like the Lions, money line.
I got you. Cool stuff. All right, for our last game of the week, we have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Eagles have been in shambles as of late.
I've never been happier with the Eagles just shit in the bed completely, bro. Like, I love it. I've been saying it. Like, Jalen Hurts, he had that one good year, but I mean, you need to put together some good years. He was terrible. I don't know, man. But other than that, AJ Brown's frustrated. I mean,
Sirianni's the nut.
They get away from running the ball to DeAndre Swift every game when it's working. They just stop doing it and start passing. I just don't understand. Nick Sirianni's a clown. I've been saying he's a clown since last year. He's a legit clown. You can tell those players do not respect him, bro. You can tell they don't give a rat's ass about him. Like, they think he's an idiot and they do what they want to do. Jalen Hurts is the coach of that team. What were you going to say, what?
No, I think I don't know. Sirianni is interesting. I think they go away from anything that's working. It's like something's working, and then you'll see them shift, and you're like, what are they doing now? And it's like they have no identity anymore. The back half of that defense is a problem. I don't know. I think Jalen Hurts. I read an article today. I hope he doesn't go down the Carson Wentz path. He's been banged up a lot this year. Tampa, they're nothing to fool with if Baker manages the game. But I am going with Baker's going to throw a pick. You know what I mean? He's going to throw a pick.
What's the spread, Jones?
Spread right now, we got -2.5 is what the Eagles are laying.
Like, that's crazy.
Like, I really feel, man,
I just don't really have the confidence to go with the Eagles.
Philly has been they got beat by the Cardinals. They just got beat by the Giants. They're just not even out there trying. This is a
on the road in Tampa.
On the road in Tampa.
Vince McMahon Royal Rumble dumpster fire. That's all we're getting into with this.
Jesus.
Take a knee, turn on the NBA, and just let this game play out. Like, if you're putting money on these two, like, you're like, wow. Unless it's a player prop. The Eagles are tail two teams. They started off right. What they go 11-0, something like that. 10-0, 11-0.
10-1,
10-1, and now you just got smoked by the Giants. You rested your starters in the third quarter because there's no coming back. Week before that, Cardinals put a beating. Like, they're just not the same team. At least
the Cardinals was concerned.
Tampa Bay's got something going for them. Yeah,
for sure.
At least they got something going for. But go ahead, Jones.
The spreads right now are so low and everything, but kind of what you're saying, E. I'm not saying Tampa Bay's going to win, but at +130 for a money line, that's not bad to sprinkle a little something on just for that.
Unless you think they can turn a switch, something's going to happen within 6 days. That, hey, we got it all together now. The team's together. We're not bickering. We're not fighting. Everything's great. I don't see it. I think they want to get out of there as soon as they can. They want to get the fuck away from each other. And I don't know what's going on, but it's it's crazy that collapsed with the Eagles. Who would be comfortable putting money on the Eagles?
Or even
I
Tampa
don't
Bay.
know.
They just put up 9 points against
Yeah,
the
that's what I
Panthers.
mean. Or
man.
Tampa.
They didn't score one touchdown against the Carolina Panthers. That's a
Agreed.
tough game.
Maybe you take a Mike Evans receiving prop or a touchdown, but I don't know. We have to see what the props even are. But that's game to stay away from, I think. We have to pick, so I'll take the points.
Or a
They
Jalen
haven't
Hurts back
impressed
shot
the
in the end zone.
Yeah.
What's that, Sach? Jalen Hurts what?
I said, or a Jalen Hurts back shot into the end zone.
The push tush.
Can't go wrong with
But, you know,
Oh,
Sach is a Cowboy. Hey, why are you hating on the Cardinals, man? The Cardinals came back and beat them. They beat Dallas. They won a lot.
No, I like the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals.
Yeah, the
The
Cardinals
Cardinals
played. They
and-
won tough this year. You know
Cardinals
what I mean?
and Giants finished their season strong. They didn't quit on the coach. They played
They
out
didn't.
the games, and they were punching people in the mouth. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. They played hard.
But I don't know. I'm with you. E. I'd stay away from the game just because I don't like. If you put the ball in Hurts' hands, I don't think he can beat you if you have no running game. If you put the ball in Baker's hand or you get down, I don't know where you go with that. I think there's going to be some. I love Baker. I love his moxie, but I just think I don't like either of the quarterbacks. So I just think that whoever gets the turnovers, whoever wins the turnover game, runs the ball better is going to win the game.
Yeah. Whoever makes the less mistakes, the big ones.
Yeah.
Heard.
Who
Yes,
you
sir.
who you guys taking? Witt and Sach.
I got points.
Oh, I'm taking the Buccaneers.
That's it.
I'm going the Buccaneers just because it's at home, and the Eagles, I would lean
What'd you do
towards the
with?
Bucs. I probably wouldn't do anything with it.
I like Tampa, and I'll tell you why. I think Baker, man, he's been bashed more than anybody since he came in the league, and the dude is like, I just still think he has it inside of him. Whether he can apply it, whether he has that talent, whether he's that good, we know he's not. But it's like, dude, he's like been his whole life has been, hey, you bet against me, I'm gonna show you. And I'm not saying they're gonna make Super Bowl NFC Championship game, but I think this is just another opportunity where it's at his level where he could exceed the expectation of what's there. And I like Tampa. I take a money line. I don't like the 3.5. I don't like that at all. You know, I think it come down to some field goal kicking, but
2.5,
I
right?
just like.
It's 2.5. 2.5. Yeah.
Oh, it's 2.5.
It's a pick 'em. It's a pick 'em at this point.
But if you like Tampa, take the points.
Yeah, I'd take the point. I'd take
Except
Tampa with
money.
the points in. But I like Tampa. I like Tampa in this game.
What's that?
I just
Sal?
No, you're better off just taking Tampa money line if you like Tampa. With the plus 2.5?
Oh, because the plus.
Plus
yeah.
130 for the money line over at the
Oh,
Yeah, I
plus
think they're
plus
by 1 or
2.5.
2.
I thought they were minus. I thought they were favored.
Money line.
So,
I don't
so
know.
they're-
It's gonna be a disgusting, gross, close game. Obviously, I just think at some point, as a team, you were just in the Super Bowl last year. You got to wake up. You got to get something going. If they lose this game, there's gonna be so much controversy over on the Eagles side of things. And if it's a close game right now, coming down to the wire, I'm gonna take the tush push for this one.
Do you think?
I'll roll with the
Sach,
Eagles.
Back to your point, though, do you think if the Eagles lose, Sirianni, the locker room's like you could tell. I'm with you. Do you think he loses it and they're going into next year with him? I don't think they're going to relieve him. But
No,
do
they'll get rid of him.
you think so? You think they lose this game?
90% sure I think Sirianni's gone just because you ain't going to get rid of Jalen Hurts. You ain't going to get rid of the players. The coach usually always, and whether it's his fault or not, the coach usually is always the easiest thing to move on from. And as much Sirianni has looked like to the media eye and how those fans, I follow a lot of Cowboys fans and Eagles. I'm just in the NFC East loop. The Eagles fans do not like Sirianni. Like it's going to be and at some point you just got to make the fans happy and you just got to make that one decision. And it's always the coach just takes the blunt end of the stick, whether it's right or wrong. I mean, I don't know, but I do think he's out because you can't start 10-1 and lose home field advantage the way they did in the second seed, the way they did. You just can't. It's pretty just unacceptable. And it looks like he just lost the locker room to everyone.
Especially in Philly.
Yeah, especially in Philly. They're ruthless.
While they weren't 10-1, you look at the Jags, Doug Pederson, he's going to get a pass. But there was a point they were the number one seed in the AFC.
Yeah, Peterson.
They were the number one seed in the AFC. They didn't even make the playoffs. They dropped and they didn't even make the playoffs.
But
Trevor
once
Lawrence
Trevor Lawrence
is a fraud.
hurt his ankle, got the high ankle sprain, things kind of got derailed a little bit. Doug Peterson's been he took Philly, won a Super Bowl with him. Dude, I think he's safe there. Sirianni, you go back
That's
to
what
his
I said.
opening
He's
press conference.
safe there, but if that's Philly, they don't let that happen.
Hey, here's a good
They can't.
example.
The fans,
Sorry,
everybody-
before I lose the thought. Here's a good example.
You good?
Peterson won the Super Bowl. One
Yeah.
bad year, 2 bad years after. I don't know. I think it might have been the year after that. They didn't live up to that hype, and he was gone after winning a Super Bowl.
I mean, they're definitely impatient there.
Yeah.
I mean, try to get just walk on the sidewalk, man. A little impatient. Be in a bar in Philly. It's just they're impatient people, man. So it's aggressive, But I don't know. I think he's safe one more year. I think I could see a midseason firing next year. I think 1 year removed from the Super Bowl took him to the playoffs. There was a lot of banged up. There were some issues on the back end. I think he's safe this year. But I did want to get your take because, I think he's if he makes it through the offseason, he's the hot seat coach for next year.
If they lose and it comes out, because right now it's just rumors, but usually where there's smoke fire, right? That this team's divided, that they're not getting along. Then he'll be gone. If it's anything else, they'll give him another year. But you can't have what's coming out, in that locker room. What they say, and the team's divided. There's Team Hurts, there's Team Brown. We got to make a change. And to Sauce's point, I can't fire the team. Coach, you gotta go. You and your big
And then
bodyguard.
the only other leader that I see on the team is the smallest guy in the locker room, Devontae Smith. You know what I mean? So he ain't getting between any of that, physically or anything. But I don't know. That's an interesting story. I like Tampa, but I'm not. I wouldn't put money. I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't lay my money on that game. I wouldn't touch that game.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I hear you, gents. All right, well, that concludes the matchups for this week, so it'll be really exciting, interesting. We'll probably have to toss some plays out on the socials for some of our best picks. Kind of like that idea. One thing I wanted to see is who's your guys' sleeper team right now for the playoffs?
You mean in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, yeah. Who's your sleeper team right now?
I mean, would you count the Rams as a sleeper or Browns?
The Browns are
everybody-
definitely a sleeper.
I'm with the Browns, 100%.
Yeah.
I can see
I mean,
the
they're
Browns.
all playoff teams, so it's hard to call it a sleeper, right?
Yeah.
But I think
what,
Browns
Mike?
or Rams can make. I think out of non-favorites, they can make probably the biggest run.
For
that'd be
sure.
my take.
Yeah, coming from the I like the Bills. I know people go, it's a 2 seed. Well, they were just 7 points, fourth quarter from being out of not out of the playoffs, but in a 6 seed position, right? Not having a home game at all. I think Lamar Jackson, he gets hurt, Josh Allen gets hurt, those teams are done. The 1-2 seed's out. Either one of them get done. They're done. There's no chance of them moving on. I think Lamar Jackson has a history of that. He's slight. He's going to be playing in cold weather the whole time in Baltimore. It's going to be either a wet track or cold. I think he can get clipped. I think they'd be out. I think the Bills can easily make it to the Super Bowl. I think you could easily see a Bills Dallas Super Bowl.
Bills Dallas.
Yeah, like who?
I would love that.
Tampa Bay. You got Tampa Bay. I'd say Philly. Who's really in there that you could say can't make the Super Bowl? Not that they, we're not saying they will, but you're like, you know what, they could get there. It could be the
Tampa.
100, but I think Tampa, Philly. There's not many teams that are out there still. You can't make a case for to say maybe they slide up there.
You look at a lot of the
Who
teams
knows?
that are in the playoffs right now. Almost every team has 2 bad losses where you're like, I don't even know how that happened. Ravens lost to the Cardinals early in the season. Cardinals beat pretty much damn near every top team somehow.
I was going to say Cardinals beat Dallas.
Dallas
beat
They beat the Ravens.
They beat
The
Philly.
Ravens and the Eagles just somehow.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but I mean, there's not like a stone cold. I mean, people are going to say the Ravens, of course, but I mean, Lamar has a lot to prove. A lot of people
Correct.
have.
There's nothing there.
Ravens can slip too. There's a lot of teams that can really slip just
But the
based
thing-
off of experience at the quarterback position for sure.
The
Hey,
Niners.
Let me ask you guys. Go ahead.
The Niners to me have the most they can have someone play bad, one of their stars, McCaffrey, Purdy, and they can still win. Purdy can't play horrible, but if Dak plays bad, they still have a defense, right? If Allen and Jackson or Mahomes play bad, they lose. You know what I mean? That's just, I think, in the playoffs that they lose. Those three teams have to have them perform.
Well, I don't know if Dak can play bad in that defense. Over the last month, that Dallas defense has been Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese, people can just run the ball down their throat. I'm telling you. Who did they just let run freaking haywire? Oh, James Cook.
2 weeks. Yeah.
They let James Cook run bananas, and I was honestly surprised that even Montgomery and Gibbs were having some pretty good games when they were playing them. And
but since the Bills,
I can't think about it.
Since the Bills fired their offensive coordinator, I think they're averaging like 150 plus a game rushing. Like they've been on a tear rushing.
Yeah.
Like that's when it started. If you look at them running the ball since they fired their offensive coordinator, there's a crazy stat out there I read last week. It's not like, man, these dudes went on a tear. They've been super physical. See how that defensive front holds up. But I don't know, man. The Cowboys have had a lot of big plays. I anticipate they'll have a few more in the playoffs, and I think they'll overcome something at that point. But Dak's playing the best football of any quarterback right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Jones will get his for Green Bay, but I don't know. I could be wrong again, but I think Dallas is going to come out of that. Jones will get his, but that's it.
We got to eliminate those big plays with Watson. I think Watson's coming back this week for him. And pretty much just keep Watson and Romeo Doubs just away from making big plays and just contain Jones. I mean, I agree with that one. Just keep him contained and, don't let Jordan Love just throw the ball.
If you're Micah Parsons, you gotta get to Jordan Love and just get under his skin. When you're a young quarterback like that, you're freaking so nervous just everywhere. As a defense, you got to get to that quarterback, that young guy, and just make him nervous.
So here's something to watch, though, in Dallas. Here's something to watch. Dallas, nobody travels to any stadium. Vegas and Dallas, right? The Packers and Steelers fans travel. And Dallas fans, watch that stadium. Watch with the green and yellow that's in that stadium. So it's almost like it's probably going to be a 60-40. It's a home game for Dallas. I think it's going to be rocking. But they're going to have a huge fan base. They're going to have some energy in there, too. So I don't think it's going to be as definitive of an advantage at home as other places. Like you talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Come on, man. That place is going to be all red.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't no one want to go to Kansas City.
Orchard Park, you're going to have some Steeler fans there because the how adjacent it is to it. But nah, man, that Cowboy Stadium is going to get infiltrated.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the Cowboy history, though, right? There's such a big stadium. That fans this from both sides. But I still like them at home, man. They just been doing some special shit this year.
And we have the longest home win streak in the league. We've won 14 home games in a row or
I'd
something.
have to go through the season, but they've have had wins this year, the Cowboys, that normally they lose. It was like, hey, they went over that hill. They crossed that bar.
Yeah.
This is normally up. This is where he does it, and they don't do it. It's like, hey, this is where Dak's going to intercept, and it doesn't happen. So I don't know I just can't see him going out in that first round. That would be so.
It'd be heartbreaking. You guys won't see me for a couple weeks if that happens.
As much as I love stops, and I'm a big mental health guy.
Check up on me if that happens. Check on me.
I would love for the Cowboys. I'm the guy that wants the Cowboys to get to the Super Bowl. But I'd be sick of listening to them, but I want them to get blown out. That's the only time I want to see a blowout in the Super Bowl. That's how much I despise, the Cowboys. But it would be great to see them go out this weekend, in my opinion. But it's not good for football. I love Dallas Niners, NFC Championship game. Old
yeah.
But look at Shots is starting to think about it. He's like, man, I can't even imagine.
I would hope so. I haven't seen an NFC Championship since I've been alive. They haven't gone to the NFC Championship.
And it is what it is. It shows you. It again. It's an example, right, of having that number one seed. It's basically right. The winner of that Tampa Bay Philly game goes to San Fran. If San Fran's already on the bye week. It's like they got to walk into the finals.
Yeah. Oh, that's like the Eagles last year. The Eagles played no one going.
They
played the Giants.
That's what comes with winning those close games and getting that, that home field. Yeah, the Cowboys are gonna have to go through Detroit or the Rams. Not that they can't, but
that's perfect.
I'd rather have Tampa in front of me. I'd rather have Philly in front of me.
Right. Yeah.
Than those two. You know what I mean? Yeah.
They got a little trek. Yeah.
Yeah. So all good. Hey, can I ask a non-playoff question? Fantasy booking.
Yeah.
Where's Derrick Henry? Where do you put him next year?
You talking about where's he going?
I honestly think, I'm not even being biased, I think Dallas would be a good spot for him.
I had two teams, the Cowboys and the Ravens. I think either of those two.
I thought we were going to snag him at the trade deadline. But the thing is that I'm saying with Dallas, and I think they can really give him a good offer and persuade him, is Tony Pollard's production this year is nowhere near last year. And it's because Tony Pollard's not an every down back. He complemented well off of Ezekiel Elliott being that fourth down, that short yardage back. I think with the Cowboys offensive line, they still have a pretty damn good offensive line. I think it'll complement Henry good. I mean, he's for 8 years in Tennessee was getting, even before he got hurt like a little bit, he was getting 25, almost 30 carries a game. He was getting beat up. And it'll be good to help him prolong his career, like where he could split with someone. He could split with Tony Pollard.
Yep.
He can be that back. He's going to go offensive line and a team that's still next year. The Cowboys will still be in contention.
He's going to go to a contender.
Huh?
Correct. Yeah, he's going to a contender.
He's going to a contender. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like Baltimore or Dallas. I think they both are good.
I like him in Dallas.
What you got with?
I like him in Dallas. Number one, tax breaks. Number two, I like him with another back to prolong his career. I like him with the Ravens. I think his personality fits. I know Najee Harris is in Pittsburgh. I like him there if they decided to do something there. But here's where I think he belongs. The Buffalo Bills. I think what they have with Cook and then bring him in, and I think you can – I think that would be dynamic. I don't think he's going to be extremely expensive in terms of that deal. And if he wants to go to a contender, could you imagine Derrick Henry in Orchard Park or in the Northeast at the end of the year with Josh Allen slinging it and keeping Diggs? That would maybe keeps Diggs, keeping hope alive. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the Bills exit early this year. Bills exit at all. Diggs is going to have an emotional breakdown. He's gone, which they need to get rid of.
Go to the Cowboys.
Yeah. But I like him in Buffalo, but I like him with the Ravens. I think prolong-wise, go Dallas, prolong your career. I think that makes the most sense for him if he wants to play 3 more years at a high level.
Main factors are pretty much going to be Super Bowl contender, and he can have a complimentary back to him. So, I mean, all those make sense. Buffalo, Baltimore, and Dallas for sure.
I haven't looked at the cap space or nothing, but Baltimore, man, he look intimidating in that uniform.
They'll make cap space for Derrick Henry. I think an organization will make cap space one way or another for at least Derrick Henry.
We're looks like we're closing in on around our last 8 minutes. So if you guys got anything to throw out there, let's get into it.
Shoot.
I love this though. I love this. We need to come up, a little time frame when everyone's available, get this going, especially with the basketball season kicking off better and everything and the playoffs. This is going to be huge.
Can you see how many people are watching or no?
I think Andrew can. Sachman.
I think we're up in the thousands.
I can't actually see. I hope so. Well, one day we will be. I promise you that. One day we will be.
I just got an email from Pretzel Rods. They want to talk.
Yeah, especially with the first live that we're doing, people will still be able to watch this back. Like this video won't just be gone. Like it'll still be posted.
This will go straight to YouTube.
We'll still be able to watch it whenever we want.
Oh, gotcha.
And a lot of that.
I didn't sign no release or anything. You know what I mean? But hey, here's to the first crown catch of the season for you guys. You know what I mean? Cheers.
Cheers, gents.
Jones got the water. There you go.
Jones, man.
Money more.
Jones is still out on the military base going his gallon.
He's got his space man behind him. He's doing good things.
Is
that a uniform hanging up there?
Yeah, he's got his uniform. And then, ain't that vinyl record I gave you? Right
there?
Oh man.
Wait, who gave you that whiskey?
Storms of life, baby. Storms of life.
Yeah, what was that? Storms of life, man. E-Man looks like he's in passing ID, nothing behind him but a blank wall. You know.
Hey, I got 2 teenagers, 3 adults. Hey, Todd, let me give you. I got my 2 teenagers, I got my son, his girlfriend, my older brother. We're all living in the house. I had to go in the bunker. I can't find a place where I get some quiet, just a peaceful room. I had to go in the bunker. It's like, all right, it's the only place I got. Yeah.
I'm out here in San Diego. I got 3 floors, 3 bedrooms. Every room has a bathroom. Ain't had no visitors from none of y'all. You got a free stay right here on the beach. You know, the lease is almost up. You got like,
the word on the street out here. We don't know what happened to you. You disappeared. We don't know what happened. They said you went to North Dakota, was an oil man. I wasn't even tracking San Diego.
Man. You guys know that when I departed the uniform, it wasn't the easiest ride. It was like Rocky 3, where he got really beat up. So, you know, came back. Obviously, I had to go to Russia, like he did in 4. Right? I had to go to North Dakota.
You got the beard and everything.
I had to go get some resiliency. I was like, you know what? -52 ain't never made a man weaker. So I did that thing, and I said, you know what? San Diego, here I come. You know, and then Bud Light had their thing, and here we are. But yeah, you guys are always welcome out here anytime, man. It's great catching up. Denver, Colorado Springs. I'll be back out there.
What is it? The Gaslight District? What's out in San Diego?
Gas Lamp. Yeah, Gas Lamp.
Gas Lamp. Hey, maybe next year we can do live from the Gas Lamp, the 4 of us.
That'd be great. They got a Hard Rock down there.
I'm still waiting for the Circa trip in Las Vegas. I'm waiting for all to go to Circa in Las Vegas.
Joe, hey Jones, when you get married, Circa's still open.
Bro, I'm in the dungeon.
Yeah. If Circa's still open when you get married, Jones, at 49, 54, whenever you give up the light.
Jones paused the whole screen once you brought that up.
Yeah, I know. He's like, hey, this is on YouTube forever.
Here's a good question I was going to ask. It's a popular one on social media.
Can't hear you.
This is the
Can you
gotcha.
hear me?
I can hear you.
Now we're back. Yeah,
Who would you give? Who would you give Offensive Rookie of the Year to? Nakua or Stroud?
Oh,
Gosh, that's tough.
I would give it to Stroud just because he's a quarterback and he flipped the whole franchise around.
That's what I'm saying.
Man,
Stroud is. I go with Stroud, and because
yeah, I think there should I think this year should be a co. I mean, just give it to both of them. Just Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, that's so bad.
Well, here's why. Nakua did it when he was like the clear number 1 as a rookie. Like there was no Cooper Kupp. There was nobody on that team that took the focus off him. They knew they were going to him, and this dude still did it. Dude, I mean, I watched some games. I'm like,
too.
Yeah,
he was a 5th rounder.
This is wild. But isn't this Nico's 2nd or 3rd year, right?
Yeah, Nico's young too. The whole Texans team is pretty young.
But that's what I mean. Like nobody was talking Nico before the season started. Like CJ Stroud put
well,
him on the map.
He had Davis Mills thrown to him.
Same thing with the rookie that broke his leg. I mean Stroud, like to your point, he turned this whole thing around. Got people believing. But
him and D'Amico.
I mean, Puka showed up too, so I'm good with a split.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. I mean, that just would be heartbreaking for either of them to not get it. So,
man, that's a good one, Sach. I haven't even pondered.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, it's been a whole question thing, and everyone's going crazy. But I'm like, damn, just do a co-one. What's it gonna really mean at the end of the day?
Isn't it done by conference? Right? It's like an AFC Rookie of the Year and an NFC.
Huh. It's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, I think they both might.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let me check that out.
Who's the Defensive Rookie of the Year?
I think they might give it to who's the Jalen Carter on the Eagles? He's been pretty good. He's been really good. He's been, I mean, one of the bright spots for the D line, but I think it's just been getting lost in the whole Eagles just been terrible. And I mean, he kind of dropped off a little bit at the end, but he was an animal to start the season.
Yeah, it's just one. It's the NFL Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's tough too. That's so tough right
It'll
there.
be interesting to see how the voters do it, but I think it'll just go to a quarterback just because of the nature of the position.
I'll tell you what though, and I tell this to Sach every day. I mean, CJ Stroud has literally been like my favorite QB to watch this year though. You talk about a poise within a guy and just huge leadership qualities there, especially with a first-time head coach. There's got to be so much communication going on there, and he's just doing his thing. And, but that's cool for D'Amico Ryans because he's letting him do his thing too.
You know what's crazy about Stroud too? Like, all those tests they give him before before they, draft all this stuff. They said like he's completely dumb. He can't process information. He lacks the mental ability to do X, Y, Z. It makes you think like, who's checking the people to do these tests? You know what I mean? It's
Who's
like,
giving out the sheet?
They need to test
because
the
they're
testers.
mentioning a lot lately. You know what I mean? And it's like, especially
Test
on
the
this guy.
testers.
What's that?
I think
They got to test some
Lamar
of these
was the
testers in
same.
the voter.
I think Lamar Jackson, when he came out, was the same way. I forget what that test is, but really low scores. And you're like, so you're totally going to overlook the athletic ability. This kid's a freak. It doesn't matter if he knows how to count. This kid is a freak.
For real.
And he's
play
from
ball.
Ohio
That's
State.
where they-
Ohio State is notoriously known to not have good NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So him being from Ohio State kind of
The way that guy flicks his wrist, man, there was that throw yesterday he made it, I believe it was to the right of the right hash, that he kind of scrambled out, and there was no way to get – I mean, his receiver was 15, 20 yards from the ball.
Oh, yeah. On a dime.
How do I give him enough time? And he just floats it up there because there's nobody. And the dude just slot. It's like that's backyard stuff. Like, hey, I'm going to throw it here if you go get it. Yeah. And he threw that dude 12 yards open. You know what I mean? It was crazy. The things that he does, it's going to be interesting. But
what's scary with them too is they're so young at this point, but they're already bought in right now. It's so cool. That's how cool it is right now. You got a young coach, you got a young quarterback, and young players around them. They're already bought in year one.
Yeah.
And they're just going to keep building from here. So they're going to be scary.
This team reminds me of the Cowboys when Dak and Zeke and like just how young – they didn't have a young coach, but like that whole Cowboys team 8 years ago, bro, they were all young. Good offensive line that was still young.
Can we get an analogy without the Cowboys? Or we
got Bayless on the show.
People forget Dak's rookie year. He went 13-2 as a starter. Dak was legit.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to do better they're going to get further this season.
But I think the thing with the Texans is they overcame all kinds. They were never supposed to be where they're at. So they're happy. What adversity have they faced this year? Now next year they start off 0-3, little different story, right? So like that's where like on the CJ Stroud thing, I'm kind of cool until let me see when you come through a little bit of adversity. Them winning what they did this year, they were picked to finish. What were they? I think you said it earlier. They were picked to finish. I mean, this was even.
It was supposed to. It was the Jags were a Super Bowl, not a favorite, but they were like a sharp
deep playoff,
and they were going to win that division. Jags, Colts, and then God, who's the third team that's out there? Houston and who else? Jags,
Colts. Man, it must be terrible.
I think it's Miami. No.
Miami's in the East.
Man,
we suck.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's bad.
It was that Crown sponsorship. But anyway, yeah, they definitely weren't supposed to be winning the division.
But the thing is,
who just beat the Titans?
Yeah,
because everybody plays division games. So the Titans.
Well, that's a hot.
Jags, Titans, Colts.
Is Vrabel gone?
Titans, Colts, and then Houston was the preseason for the division.
And the thing is too,
is Vrabel gone? Because I would tell you, Vrabel did a lot with the Leafs. I like Vrabel. I like him a lot.
Me too.
Give him a quarterback. I know he had Henry there, but he never had a quarterback. Receivers were intermittent. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like Vrabel. I like him. I like his response to the reporter yesterday. Why do you want to win? Because it fucking sucks to lose. Like, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like Vrabel is the same thing as Dan Campbell, but just less animated. Like, he has that. Mike Vrabel was on the Patriots, and you watch videos of him when he was playing. He was a bad dude, crazy in the head guy. But Dan Campbell's more, public about it. But I mean, even then, so with CJ Stroud next year, he's going to have expectations, and that sophomore slump in the pressure ruins a lot of young quarterbacks.
Right? Yeah, you're going to be.
You got a year.
The thing is now with CJ Stroud is he's on a free roll. Like, no one cares what he does because he has the rookie excuse. Yeah. But I mean, I hope he does good. And then even with I was gonna say sorry for the overtime rules. Now it's both teams get the ball, right?
Unless
Both-
one scores,
both
right?
possess.
I don't know if that's in the playoffs. I think both.
Oh, in the
teams get
playoffs,
the
I'm sorry.
ball.
Yeah.
I think both teams. If one team scores a
Possession.
touchdown, I think the other team still gets a chance,
Possession.
right?
Yeah. Let me see.
So that's a betting tip for everyone watching: is be careful on unders, because if the game goes in overtime, that could be 14, 17 point swing quick.
Yeah. That's the Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
Josh Allen
taking-
rule.
Yeah, the Josh Allen rule.
I like
yeah,
that rule.
that's right. You're right because of the Chiefs
Yeah.
Buffalo game. Yeah, it
I
says
think
here.
even a
it says
touchdown
each-
don't win it in the
each get a
playoffs. I
possession.
think everyone gets to touch the ball now.
Yep, that's right. Good
But
call.
I think they should honestly even put it to freaking college rules, but just move them back to like the 40 or 50 or something. Do that. Just knockout punch after knockout punch.
What do you
Yeah,
feel?
so
All right,
this-
gents. Looks like we're running low on time here for the session. Everything, but just if you guys want to go around, any last thing you want to say? Like I said, I love this. I think we keep it up, get a schedule going with everything, toss some
Yeah.
plays out and everything. This is cool because the other show that Sach and I are doing is doing really well right now. We're having a watch party this Saturday for Wild Card Weekend. We're doing a live show and everything, so we'll have that
Nice.
running, and then we'll have the nightcap going with you guys, which we'd love. And
You
everything.
doing like
I think
a watch party, kind of like the Manning cast, or are you going to be at a bar or something?
we're doing like a live show before the game to give
Oh,
the picks
okay.
out and everything, and then we're having the watch
yeah.
party at the bar. And
Where
everything.
you
So, like,
where you doing a watch party? I saw it on the page.
yeah, I just want to plug it. You know, we're going to the View House, DT, downtown Denver.
View house.
Yeah, why would it be anywhere else? You know what I mean?
View-
You know, I might fly out. You never know. Hey, don't tempt me. I might fly out the next week or two. You never
No,
know.
but this-
We might have to have E make a trek down there.
we're
If
trying
I
to get
fly-
E down.
if
Yeah,
I
I'm just
fly
trying
out,
to get E
I'll
down.
pick- If I fly out, I'll
Yeah.
pick E up in a Cutlass, put some
Oh.
chains on, and we'll head
The
up north.
Cutlass.
I was thinking big red truck, but
Hey.
hey, I'll sign off. I'll sign off with first and foremost, Jones. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Thank you
And
guys
then,
for yours.
and then definitely want to keep this going. And if I had to pick one, I like the Rams this week. Like, I know there's a couple games, but the one I really like are the Rams. Rams and Dallas, probably my two favorite plays this week.
For sure.
Yeah. No, I'll end it off with that too. I mean, Jones, E, Witt, thank you guys for your service, man. I mean, what's American football without thanking the veterans and the people that served the country first? So
That's true.
And you got
thank you,
got-
boys. And my play of the week, I don't know. I'm gonna still dive into it, but I kind of like
you got to tune in Friday.
that.
That's a good
You got
cliffhanger.
Tune in Friday, but I'm looking at a couple. We'll leave it at that.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, no spoilers from Sasha. No, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate indulging me.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me on, guys. You guys are awesome. Let's keep it going.
Absolutely. That
I'm
wraps
glad we
tonight's
finally got it.
episode. The Bet Champ Show After Hours. Let's sign off, gentlemen. Good seeing you guys.
All right, later, boys.
Boom. All right, guys. Out.